Yes. Jai Meher Baba Pratap ji. Lovely to see you. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Meher Baba, Jai Meher Baba.
Okay. Jai Baba. Okay, we can. I think we're all set to start our session. So Pratap Uncle is back. It's really wonderful. So everybody can unmute themselves and we'll say 3 times Avtar Meher Baba ki jai, and then Pratap Uncle can take over from there. Okay, everybody can unmute themselves. Avtar Meher
Baba ki jai.
Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
की जय
Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
जय.
So thank you, Pratap Uncle. Like I know it's like he's speaking now 2 times a week. So that's your Tuesday nights, and again this is your Friday during your daytime. So I know it's a lot of work for him for that. So we really thank him, and this is now over to Pratap Uncle from here. Uncle from here, Jai Baba, over to you. Thank
Jai
you so
Baba,
much.
thank you, Ganesh. I intend to speak something about these weekly programs, but at the end, today I will be starting my subject to this subject, and I have changed little bit the pattern, especially for today. At least that pattern will be followed differently. I have one song to be sung before you, along with the meaning of each stanza and some stories about connected with that the subject which is discussed in that particular stanza. There are some memories about that, and that I am going to narrate today. I hope you will receive me with happiness. When I was preparing for this lecture or preparing for 12th session, I don't prepare much because many times I just draw notes and thereafter I keep aside and then I start with some other subject. Every time it happens, but today I have taken out some points, and I would request all people to listen very carefully because this is a entirely little bit of different subject today I am going to speak on. Now, God's love. God uses nature to bestow his grace on us. We get sunlight, moonlight, rains, food grains, water, air, and all the amenities of life. It is an arrangement, a divine arrangement, which takes place by the will of God. That is why we always say that not a leaf moves without the will of God. When out of some high aspirations, ambitions, man interferes with this system or this arrangement, which God has made for us. The nature gets violent or hostile, and we suffer. That is why we have found during last so many months and about years also. When we come to God-man's love, it is a deliberate, intentional to achieve at an object. When we venture to love God-man, there are occasions of disappointments, desperations, failures of intentions, frustrations, reciprocating relations, etc., etc. When I was Recently, I came to one beautiful para, which tells about the relation between God, man, and the human being. For talk at God is all merciful. God is all merciful, but the path of God is merciless. God is all merciful, but the path of God is merciless. The master had not shown yet what the path of fire could be. He was about to become merciless to shower his real gift. The disciples did not know that the ego, the mind, was to face the beginning of being consumed. Realization is a process of burning. Realization is process of burning. Its price is self, ourself. And no one can pay it without the grace of the master. It is paid if one burns it without pity and without mercy. The master's compassion would reveal the flames of his love, thus preparing each disciple to pay the price little by little. So we keep on paying the price little by little. We have to adapt ourselves to the process that the master or the Godman is going to play with us, going to do with us. There is a song on this theme of God's grace and the burning. I'm going to sing the song, and each stanza I will just try to explain. It is a Marathi song. Those listeners who know Marathi, they can understand. But for those who do not understand Marathi, I am going to explain each stanza. प्रभु तुझ्या प्रेमाचा दाह सोसवेना, प्रभु तुझ्या प्रेमाचा दाह सोसवेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना, प्रभु तुझ्या प्रेमाचा दाह सोसवेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना, प्रभु तुझ्या प्रेमाचा. प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा दाह सोसवेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना. O my beloved, I am unable to withstand the fire of your love. I am unable to withstand the fire of your love. My inability to bear the heat keeps me burning from within. My inability to get adapted to the heat of your love, that keeps me burning from within. With frustration, of course. I get frustrated when I am not able to do that. I am not able to withstand the fire of your love. प्रेमाचा सोसवेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना, प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा. Now the first stanza is, प्रेमाची परिभाषा मला आकळेना, अंतरात प्रेमाचा सूरही जुळेना, बेसूर सूर तसा तालही कळेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साह देना. The meaning of this stanza is, I could never follow and understand the language of your love. I could never tune up myself with the melody of your love. Not only I was out of tune, but I could not even keep up with the rhythm of your love. Not that I was out of tune, but I was also out of rhythm. Your love, this keeps me always frustrated. This situation keeps me always frustrated. Now, those who are singers, those who know singing, there are so many people I have seen amongst you listeners that they are very good singers. So they can understand that what is tuning. You take your instruments, either it is a guitar or it is a violin or it is a harmonium or it is a tabla and all these. So they have to be got tuned with each other. And the tune is, if it is perfectly matching with each other, it creates a different atmosphere. It makes a different effect on each one of us. So that I am not able to tune up with your love. I am not able to keep up with your rhythm of your love. And this is why I am burning from within. We have seen during the programs that we held before Baba, especially the programs which were presented by very renowned singers like Begum Akhtar or like Patwardhan Bua, like Deshpande. All these people are very expert in singing. They cannot make any mistakes. But then the Kawals, the main Kawal is a very good singer. He knows the classical also. But the accompaniment, so he collects some people to give support to his singing. They at times, many times, they make a mistake. And during Baba's time, Kawal bringing so many some of his friends, and these friends they are supposed to be expert in singing high pitch, in a high pitch voice. And if they are out of tune or they are missing the rhythm, then there will be a mark of Baba's vein will show that displeasure on Baba's face. And Baba said, what this man is singing? His gesture will be that, what are you doing? He is getting out of tune. And if somebody is getting out of rhythm, he will give rhythm like that. And until he matches with this, Baba will keep on doing that. Baba was himself, as we know, Baba was a very best singer and he knew everything about the music. So this tuning with your love, I am not able to do. And that is why I am burning from within due to frustration. प्रेमाची परिभाषा मला कळेना, प्रेमाची परिभाषा मला कळेना, अंतरात प्रेमाचा सूरही जुळेना, अंतरात प्रेमाचा सूरही जुळेना, अंतरात प्रेमाचा सूरही जुळेना, बेसूर सूर तुझा ताळही कळेना, बेसूर सूर तुझा ताळही कळेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला सावेना, प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा Next stanza is जळता मी पण माझे मला पाहवेना अहम भाव सरताना मला साहवेना नित्य तुझ्या तालावरी मला नाचवेना अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना. It is very much the meaning is very much similar to that I have read just now, the para. I will just repeat it. God is all merciful, but the path of God is merciless. The master had not shown yet what the path of fire could be. He was about to become merciless to shower his real gift. The disciples did not know that the ego, the mind, was to face the beginning of being consumed. The same thought is there. जळता मी पण माझे मला पाहवेना. When my self is getting burnt, I cannot bear this sight. Also, I cannot bear when my very being is getting effaced or dissolved. After all, I just cannot dance to your tune and your rhythm. Say, very deep thought. It is all right to deal with God, but it's very difficult to deal with God man. This is a direct interaction, direct working. If the God man is directly working on the disciple or the aspirant, there are so many sufferings. I do not know why this love is always associated with agony. Without love, there is no agony. And without agony, there is no love. They are so very intrinsically connected with each other that unless you undergo suffering, you cannot achieve the real love. That love, not this love of today. It is very possessive. Today's love is very possessive. It is very dominating. Killing your partners is a horrible situation. The real love is that which knows only to be. Once I will tell you some beautiful stories about this. In one of the couplets of the ghazal by the famous writer, composer, I'm sorry, every time it happens like this. Anyway, I will just pass on that name. I won't. I will remember afterwards. But that's what he says is, Mohabbat kya hai? What is love? तासीरे मोहब्बत किसको कहते हैं? What is the effect of love? तेरा मजबूर कर देना, मेरा मजबूर हो जाना. You make me helpless. You will be compelled, and I get compelled. That is what is love. A beautiful story about with Layla Majnun. Majnun was very much mad after Layla. Every time he would beat his chest and then call out by the name of Layla, like a mad boy. He will be roaming about in the locality, in the city and villages, from place to place. And these news somehow they used to reach the ears of Laila. Now Laila was also loving Majnu. Both of their love was for each other. But then that madness prevailed more on Majnu. He was being very abnormal. And when Laila was receiving the news every day, some news about Majnu, today he was in the gutter calling out by the name Laila, Laila, Laila. On another day, he was roaming about in the streets calling out by the name Laila, Laila. And this news was received by Laila, and Laila thought that once for all, I must put an end to this somehow. So what she did was she called her maid servant and sent a message to Majnu. She asked that maid servant to take this message to Majnu. Tell him that Laila wants a piece of your flesh. Laila wants a piece of your flesh. Now that maid servant goes, she, after some time roaming out here and there, ultimately she finds Majnu lying there somewhere in the thoughts of Laila, and she goes close to him and said, "I have come from Laila, and Laila has sent a message for you." And then, as soon as he heard the name of Laila, he started dancing. He started dancing. Oh, he was so very happy that he has received a message from his beloved Laila. And he was so curious. He said, "Just tell me what is the message, what you will just tell me early, otherwise I may die." And Laila, that maid servant tells him that Laila has sent a message that she wants a piece of your flesh. And he was so very happy, say that at last Laila has demanded something from me. That is the highest achievement in my life. And he asked the maid servant, just go and ask Laila as to which part of the body she wants the flesh. Of which part of the body she wants the flesh. And that maid servant goes to Majnu and tells her that Majnu was really dancing when he heard that I have brought a message from Laila, and then he asked for the message, and I told him that Laila wants a piece of flesh from your body. And he has asked me to tell you as to which part of the body she wants the flesh, a piece of flesh. And what Laila says, can you imagine? Can any of the listeners imagine that? Laila says, my Majnu is not yet matured. He has reached, he is not to that mark. He's still lacking in that perfection of love. This type of love is being expected by the masters from the lovers. When I was just thinking about people with Baba's Mandali, here the last line is, Nitya tuja talavari malanath vina. I am not able to dance to your tune or to your on the tips of your finger, on the movement of the tips of your fingers. I am not able to dance. Always man falls man falls short of implicit obedience, or every time. Now, all the people close to Baba, they had to undergo all these trials. I'll tell you one couple of beautiful examples. Once it so happened that Kumar, Shatrughan Kumar, I think his son was there. He was his son. One young boy had come to Pune, and the Shatrughan was in Pune. And this boy, mostly he was Shatrughan Kumar's son. And he stayed there for a few days, and then he fell very seriously ill. And he fell serious, not only he fell seriously ill, he was admitted to hospital, but he passed away. And of course, that grief was there. It was very bad time for Kumar to digest this difficult time. And of course, as the days went by, it was this grief was just reduced to nil. He could come to his normal. And once it so happened that at the same time, Baba had given darshan to people, and people from many parts of India, they had come, especially big groups from Andhra and Hamirpur. There was a big group from Hamirpur, and Pukar's family had come. Pukar was in Pune, and Pukar's family had come from Hamirpur. And they, in that, there were many relations of Pukar. There was one child, small child, and all these people now every time those people used to come in a very difficult, facing all the difficulties of traveling. They didn't have reservations. They will just get on the train somehow, and then wherever they find place, they will sit there and pass their time. Whatever way they get on the platform, they will eat and then pass the time. That was the situation then. And this family, Pukar's family, had come, and when they were returning, that child passed away. Now see, earlier Kumar's child passed away, Kumar's son passed away, and this time Pukar's child passed away. And this Baba was discussing this point we were sitting, it was perhaps must have been holiday, but quite many of us were present there. And Baba was discussing these particular two incidents, and he was praising Pukar. He said, this Pukar, he has given himself to me. His family had come for my darshan. After taking my darshan, they were returning to their places. On the way, or after going there, the child passed away. This news was received by Pukar, but he was unmoved. He could digest this news without any adverse reaction on his face. Baba had all the praise for Pukar. He had not, he was not found beating his for the death of his son. Baba used to show it with gestures, but Pukar was sitting very quiet without any reaction on his face. After this whole thing was over, there was a recess and we all came out. And I went to Pukar and I said to Pukar, Pukar, you are so very lucky that Baba has praised you so much. Pukar's reply was very funny reply to me. What Pukar said to me is that don't get carried away with that praise. What he meant that he is very ghag. He was very shrewd. Our master is very shrewd. He will, in a moment, he will raise you to the sky, and the next moment, he will put you down on the floor. So don't be carried away with that sort of a praise. I had a good laugh. I could with Pukar. These people are made in that fashion. One another incident I will tell you that Vishnu Master was said to be a bazaar master. All the bazaar which especially the ladies want, Vishnu Master would go to the bazaar and bring whatever they want. And once when all were sitting, Vishnu Master came from out, entered the hall and sat in front of Baba. It's a little bit aside like this. Baba is sitting here, he sat there, just looking at Baba. And Baba is dealing with several other things. He was talking with, conversing with other people on other subjects. And this man is simply gazing at Baba. He had some point to be discussed with Baba, but he was not daring to say it because Baba was busy in talking with some other people. And abruptly Baba says, I don't like this person. I don't like to see his face. I just hate him. Everybody was so very surprised that Baba is abusing so much. Vishnu Master. Every time he comes before me, I get headache. Every time he comes before me, I get headache. Better that he don't show his face to me. That time, had I been there, I would have run away from there. But Vishnu Master is having no reaction whatever on his face. No reaction on his face. He's simply just sitting like this, looking at Baba, and Baba is emptying. I dislike him, I don't like him, I don't like his face and all that. Ultimately, after all these abuses, Baba passed a beautiful remark. What Baba said is, I don't like him. But in Gujarati, Baba said, Mera nahi hone upar jeev chhe. Mera likes him. See the, this is a divine play of God man. I dislike this person, but Mera likes him. And naturally, because Mera likes him, Baba also has to like him. That was the whole meaning of it. So this sort of preparation with every Mandali member, it was very, very, very difficult job, very, very difficult times. But gradually, what he said here is a beautiful expression is given here. Love thus prepares each disciple to pay the price little by little. little by little, the people get accustomed to the ways of the God man. They try to get adapted to the methods that God man uses in dealing with all these people. It's a very beautiful uh, play of the God man avatar, his divine Leela. It's very enjoying in spite of all these trials one has to undergo. The whole life is at the same time very enjoyable. It's a very funny thing that agony be enjoyable anytime? The agony of love is always enjoyable. This is a admitted fact in the Urdu poetry that agony of love is enjoyable, always enjoyable. So that is what the stanza says. जळता मी पण माझे मला सावेना अहंभाव करताना मला साहवेना अहंभाव करताना मला सावेना नित्य तुझ्या तालावरी मला नाचवेना नित्य तुझ्या तालावरी मला नाचवेना अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा I am reading the next stanza. मागता तू देशी परी मला ते रुचेना मागता तू देशी परी मला ते रुचेना मागल्या वाचूनी तुला द्यायचे सुचेना प्रेमाची रीत परी मला मोडवेना अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना You are ready to give. You are ready to give me everything and anything if I demand. You are ready to give me everything if I demand. But you feel like giving only after my demand. Without my demand, you don't feel like you should give me. This is a tussle in between the lover and the beloved. Very hard tussle. Very hard tussle. Without asking, the beloved does not give anything. And the beloved and the lover, he does not want to ask for anything because he knows, he has been given to understand that to demand anything in the matter of love is an insult to love. To demand anything in the matter of love is an insult to love. And he doesn't want to insult the love. So he does not demand. And on the other hand, the beloved, he doesn't want to give unless the lover demands. What a type of game this is. On this also there is a beautiful story, but it's not from the area of the Mandali. It is a general story. This is a story in between Lord Krishna's time. There was one friend, one very dear friend of Lord Krishna. His name was Sudama. This pair of Sudama and Krishna is very famous in the scriptures. Both of them were studying together in a ashram of a Rishi. And now those days, there were not this online education or not with books, and there was always education on the practical way of giving lessons. And if the boy is from the royal family, then the education will be also for fighting or for preparing for war, preparing for fight with sword, preparing for bow and arrow, if the boy is from a royal family. And for all, if he is from a priest family, then he will be taught with how to perform the puja and all that paraphernalia of puja. So different types of education was being given in this ashram. There were not very big buildings of schools, only the ashram of rishis. And in that ashram of rishis, both Krishna and Sudama were taking education. They had intent to very fast friendship, but there was far difference in their financial conditions. Krishna came from a royal family. Krishna's maternal uncle was the king of that place. And this Sudama, he was such a poor Brahmin, very poor Brahmin. But the friendship was really very rich friendship in between these two. After the education was over, Krishna went, he became the king of Dwarka. Dwarka is a township or a city, and he became the king of Dwarka. And this poor man, he goes to his village, he goes to his hut and continue his life in poverty. He had quite good number of children, but the sources of income was very poor. He had no money even for feeding the children. They were half starving. They were not having good clothes on their body. Even his wife was in the same condition, very miserable condition. Whereas his friend, very fast friend, Krishna, is a king, having all the amenities of life, all the luxuries of life. There are servants working under him. There is vast disparity in the financial condition. And the wife of Sudama, once she said to Sudama, you talk very much high about your friend. You also say that he loves you very, very much. He has become a king now. Why don't you go to him and ask for some help? Can you see your children are starving actually? They are in rags. I am also in rags. You are also in rags. Why don't you go and ask for some help from your very close friend who has become a king? Sudama says, why should I go? I will not demand anything from him. I am not a beggar. I will not ask for anything. He is my friend. So what? I am not going to ask for anything. Why doesn't he feel himself to help me? Why he does not feel helping me? And there at the other end, Krishna's wife Rukmini, she tells, you boast of your friendship with your very close friend Sudama. You always, I hear lot of praise from you about Sudama. You praise so much. You praise so much your friendship with Sudama. There he's starving actually. His wife is starving. His children are starving, and you don't feel anything about them. You are a king. Why don't you help them? And Krishna says, let him once request, once, just ask for something. I will make him a king like me. You understand the point. Sudama does not want to ask for anything, and Krishna doesn't want to give anything without asking. This is a tussle in between the two egos. And somehow the wife of Sudama, she gets successful in persuading, I mean convincing Sudama to go to meet, at least meet. Don't ask for anything, but at least go and meet him. Ask for whether he is doing well, he is nice, his health is good and all that. So Sudama agrees to that. He says, but I want to ask for anything, just mind well. I am not going to beg for anything. Forget about it. I will go and inquire about him. I will stay with him a couple of days and come back. All right, you go and at least meet your friend. And he prepares for going to Krishna. Now this poor lady, what she could give as a present, she prepares some, we call it a poha, some sort of item, eatable item, very cheap item. He prepares and make a packet of that and covers it with cloth, very old cloth, and then gives to the Sudama. Now Sudama feels very shy about carrying that with him, but somehow he hides it from under his sadra and goes there. Now see the scene. He goes to the palace of Krishna, and the guards are there. They don't know where you are going. Get away from here. And he says that I have come from a long distance. I want to meet Krishna. And why for you want to meet Krishna? You get away. He is resting now, and we cannot let you inside. But then she says that I pray, please, just tell Krishna that there is somebody by name Sudama, he has come to meet you. Just convey that much message, that's all. That guard goes there, he feels a pity about this man with rags on his body, and he goes inside, and Krishna is resting there. Rukmini is pressing his feet, and this man stands with like this very politely, says, sir, there is one man in rags who wants to meet you. His name is, what he said, his name is Sudama. As soon as Krishna heard about Sudama, he immediately gets up. He gets up and runs to the door of the palace. Show me where is he, and he very hurriedly goes there And as soon as he sees Sudama, they embrace each other. Must have been a beautiful scene. They embrace each other with so much of love. Very respectfully, Krishna holds his hand and brings him inside. Introduces him to his wife, Rukmini. Makes him sit on his own throne. Brings the pot. Both of them wash his feet with warm water. And then they make inquiries about each other. All that past days in the Rishi's ashram and all that, they enjoy talking about all that. And Krishna asked me what my sister-in-law, that means Sudama's wife, has given for Krishna. Has you brought something for me from her? So very reluctantly he takes out that poha and offers to Krishna. And Krishna takes it with so much of love, not dropping even the smallest piece from that. He eats everything, not sharing with anybody. He eats everything himself and becomes very happy, very enjoyed that eating this very simple food item. And Krishna tells him that now you go to the river, you have a good bath, and then by the time food will be ready, we will partake food together. It is a great time for both of us. And then Sudama goes to the river. He takes a bath. Usually those days, people used to, the rishis and munis, they used to take bath on the river. So he goes to the river, takes bath and comes back. By the time he wears the same clothes, but by the time he comes here, Krishna asks him to remove those clothes. He gives him new clothes. Clothes which are being used by Krishna himself. A very fine clothes. He must have never seen those clothes. And they take food. And this Krishna keep servants at his hand. Whatever he wants, the servants attend to his needs. He was given a very comfortable cot for sleeping, resting. Every comfort was provided with so much of love. And then after 3-4 days, Sudama tells Krishna, now I have to go back because my children must be waiting for me. There is no any demand, no any complaint about his condition, about his financial condition. He prepares to go and Krishna says, all right. And he just collects whatever he had brought with him, his rags, all old clothes, collects and puts in his bag. And about to leave, Krishna stops him. Krishna stops him and asks him to remove all the clothes whichever provided by Lord Krishna. To take out all those clothes and wear his old clothes, all that rags. He wants him to put up the same clothes on his body and remove all the clothes which Krishna had offered him. And Sudama wear the same clothes in which he had come to Krishna and goes his way to his village. Now, when he reaches the village, he is not able to find out his house. Searching here and there. Oh, the whole village has changed. And the hut where his hut was there, it is nowhere his hut is seen. And he is surprised. What has happened? He asked some people there, where is, I had a hut here, where is all their things? And the person informed me that people from Krishna had come and they broke down all these old construction, and they have built a new palace here. And the wife and children in a with nice dress and loaded with so many of ornaments, they come and receive Sudam. This is a story of the love in between Krishna and Sudam. What type of game it is? What type of love it is? It's really indescribable. One cannot. How to define this God man? Is there any measure? Is there any measure for his love, his compassion? No. His Leela, divine game. That Leela word is a very beautiful word. Game is not any very apt word for that. Divine Leela, Daivi Leela. Daivi means divine. This is his Daivi Leela. And one has to, that Sudama was not ready to ask, but without asking, Krishna has given everything to him. It's a very strange relation in between the lover and the beloved. Very strange relation. It cannot be put up in a particular mold. It is altogether a different, indescribable relation with the beloved and the lover. And the beloved is divinely perfect one. Then everything takes a different meaning. With this story, still there are 3-4 stanzas which I will take next time, because it is time for closing our session. But remember, next time I will continue with the same topic, same song, which to be completed next time with some more stories. Now for today, this much is only that I will just repeat the whole singing and then we finish today's. Will that all right for all of you? Thank you. मला साहवेना प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा दाह सोसवेना अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा प्रेमाची परिभाषा मला कळेना प्रेमाची परिभाषा मला कळेना अंतरात प्रेमाचा सूरही जुळेना अंतरात प्रेमाचा सूरही जुळेना बेसूर सुरतचा तालही कळेना बेसूर सुरतचा तालही कळेना अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला साहवेना प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा जळता मी पण माझे मला पाहवेना दळता मी पण माझे मला पावेना, अहम भाव करताना मला चाहवेना, अहम भाव करताना मला चाहवेना, नित्य तुझ्या तालावरी मला नाचवेना, नित्य तुझ्या तालावरी मला नाचवेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला चाहवेना, प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाना. मागता तुझेशी तरी मला ते रुचेना, मागता तुझेशी जरी मला ते रुचेना, मागण्या वाचून तुला द्यायचे सुचेना, मागण्या वाचून तुला द्यायचे सुचेना, मागण्या वाचून तुला द्यायचे सुचेना, प्रेमाची रीत प्रभी मला मोडवेना, प्रेमाची रीत प्रभी मला मोडवेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला चाहवेना, प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा दाह सोसवेना, अंतरंगी जळतो मी मला चाहवेना, प्रभू तुझ्या प्रेमाचा.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very heart touching.
Yes. I was just Ganesh.
Yes.
Ganesh is there?
Yes, I'm here.
Ganesh, I was just suggesting that why not have these Friday sessions alternatively and the Wednesday sessions also alternatively. Just inquire with those concerned people.
With Angela and Jeff.
I think that will please. And if at all anybody wants to ask any question, they may put.
No. So anybody, any comments, thoughts, questions? I think, yeah, Dinah has raised her hand. Yes, Dinah.
Thank you, Jai Baba, Pratapji. Your story was so beautiful and so enjoyable to listen to. And as you went through this story, it was like each one was a different act in a play, a different scene, and your choice of words, the expression in your face, the expression in your voice, it told the story so beautifully. And I know you have so much experience singing for Baba, but it made me wonder, have you participated in any plays done for Baba? Because there's such a dramatic side to you that I was noticing today. So
Dinah has a question that she's saying, have you participated in any plays for Baba? Yes, you participated in any plays? That is what she is asking.
Along with Baba?
In any plays that you participated? Any of the dramas?
ड्रामा मध्ये वगैरे तुम्ही कधी भाग घेतला का?
I have composed drama. I have written drama, and I have children. My children were taking part in the drama Ganesh, you must be knowing about it.
Yes.
We have very beautiful dramas after Baba dropped his body. But I myself never took any part in the dramas. It is, what should I say? It is all my heart that is coming out. When I was going through the translating this poem, I got so very emotional, so very on the point of just weeping, especially the about Vishnu Master and about the story of Sudama and Krishna. Once it's so, I just forgot to tell you one thing. Some time ago, after Baba dropped his body, Erech used to sit behind the Baba's room, just close to the Samadhi. There is Baba's room where the stretcher is kept. The Baba's body was brought on the stretcher, and the stretcher is kept there. That room is called Baba's room. Behind that, Erech would sit during Amartiti days, and we people used to gather around Erech, and people used to ask so many questions. He would answer. He would tell some of the stories of Baba's time. It was very nice meeting. At that time, somebody asked Erech, is it proper to ask something from Baba? And what Erech said, why not? Ask whatever you want. He is not going to give you anything without asking. If you ask for anything, if you want anything, you ask. Go and ask. Go to his Samadhi and ask whatever you want, and he will grant you. Kumar from Dehradun, Baba had told me during till I am in this body, I am not going to give anything to you. But after I drop my body, you can go to the Samadhi and get whatever you want from that Samadhi. This is give and take in between the lover and the beloved. No, it is everybody's choice, anybody's choice whether to ask for anything or not to ask. I'm thankful to the sister
Diana. So that was kind. Rosal has her hand. Yeah. So Rosal. You're on mute, Rosal. You have to unmute yourself.
Pratap, thank you so much for that Leila Majnun. So deep. What I'm curious, you mentioned Pukar, so maybe next time you could explain the Pukar. I was kind of lost in the Leila Majnun. Didn't get the Pukar. Maybe next time, because I met Pukar. He stayed at our house, and he was so beautiful. Yeah, such a character. Yes. So maybe next time, I'd love to hear about Pukar. But the Leila Majnun was so beautiful. I mean, it was, that play of God. What can I say? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And to hear it in song, wow. Yeah. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Anyone else? So yeah, I think that's so. Thank you, Pratap uncle. Thank you so much for this evening. Beautiful evening.
But one question.
Yeah, Rosal.
One question. I didn't understand what Pratap was saying about after next time, or I didn't understand what he was saying. It
So
has
he
something to do with the Tuesday night and like that.
and the Friday night.
Yeah.
So it's like Friday night, he is proposing that he will come alternate Fridays. So
Okay, so
every
he,
Friday.
so he
Alternate
won't,
when
he won't come every Friday because he's coming on
Yes.
Tuesday. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
But
boo
Pratap
hoo,
uncle, you
So
should
it's-
come next week.
boo
Hey,
hoo.
Ganesh.
But
Pratap
yes,
uncle
yes,
should
yes,
come
yes.
next
Yeah,
week.
thank you, Mehchan. Yeah. So
Next
Pratap
week
uncle,
he
we
has to
want you
come.
next week because that's your birthday. So it's October
Hey, don't
15
call
next
for the
Friday.
birthday.
I want to miss you.
In fact, New
Yes,
Life starts
October 16th.
16. Yeah.
So we want
And
you on
yesterday
15th.
we
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
yesterday
Right.
whole
So we
Tade
would.
whole Tade family remembered Pratap yesterday.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Pratap uncle, but we would like to have you next Friday, which is
Friday.
October 15, because that's just a day before your birthday. So we want you over here. That's a request from all of
To
us.
sing a few lines from
Oh,
New
sure.
Life song. New Life song.
Yes, yes,
Suno Meher
Yes,
Baba ki
yes.
Kamoshwani.
yes.
So whose birthday? Whose birthday? Pratap?
Yes,
Yeah, Pratap.
October 16th is his
Ah.
birthday,
Ah, Jai Baba.
the New
You
Life
you
Day.
know you know
Yeah.
Ganesh. He
Yes.
met Baba first time on 16th October in
On
1950 at
16th October
Mahabali. Yeah.
at
And he
Mahabaleshwar.
was born in 16th October 1936.
36.
Yes.
Jai Baba.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
special.
So 16th is a very
Yes.
important day for Pratap uncle,
Yes.
16th October. And Baba has given a real new life to him on 16th October
Yes, yes.
1950.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes,
Wow.
yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Milchan. That is for reminding that. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Jai
Sure.
Meher Baba Kaka.
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Merwa, Jai Merwa, Jai
Yeah,
Merwa.
thank you so much. Jai Baba.
Special
Avtar
85th
Meher
birthday.
Baba
Meher
ki
Baba
Jai.
ki Jai.
Ganesh,
Jai
special
Baba.
Avtar
85th
Meher
birthday.
Baba
Meher
ki
Baba
Jai.
ki Jai.
Avtar
Avtar
Meher Baba
Meher Baba ki
Jai.
Jai.
Happy birthday.
It's going to be his 85th birthday, special birthday.
Yeah.
Hmm. So he'll be here next Friday, so we always can wish here and sing for him here.
Friday, same time or what?
Same time, same time.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you.